Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Today's guitar lesson, we're going to talk about power chords. Now, commonly power chords are for electric guitar. Okay, you get the idea of that riff, right? So, very common, right? But can also be used with acoustic guitars as well. So if we go over to an acoustic sound here, we can use them here. So many times I find myself when I'm playing on the worship team in church, well, sometimes I just don't want to, play the same thing as another guitar player that may be there. Because I do play on two teams. And I quit the one team for a while, but I'm kind of back and forth right now with them. But the other team I play on, there's two of us playing guitar. And so you don't want to play the exact same thing as the other player because it sounds like crap. Right? Especially when you're doing the same rhythm, same chords. Even if you're, if you go capo to no capo, still staying in the same key, that's fine. You can be identical and your tones are going to have a shift, which complements, which is fine. But sometimes I find myself where, you know what, I'd rather play like a power chord of an E. So that person is playing an E, or I can do it in an A chord as well. Depends on the chords I have to follow and how I'm going to do them. And I also tend to mix power and bar chords together. And there is a big difference between the two of them. It's like something like a B minor, for example. You play a B minor here, which is kind of normal, but then you can also play it as a barred and you offset the tone a little bit, right? Just to be a little bit different. But what we want to talk to you about mainly today is power chords, okay? Now, a lot of these power chords per se, they're two fingers, okay? So you're going to be playing like an F, for example, and you're going to do two strings, right? I kind of don't really like the sound of that, and I think something's knocked out on my guitar. I'm still working with the brand new strings that came with this thing. No, it's fine. So that's not a problem. So maybe it's just me. But I like to do three fingers for my power chords. Okay, so I'm going to cover the, in this case, I'm going to go on the D string, okay, on the 3rd fret. And I'm going to go 3rd fret again, but on the A string, okay, with my 3rd finger, so 3rd and 4th. And then my 1st finger, of course, is going to go on the very top onto the E string, onto the F note, and that's going to give us an F power chord. Now, with that, we just slide up the neck. That's all we need to do. Okay, so F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and then after B is C, because there is no B sharp, okay? And so we're going to go B, A, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, and then E goes to F. So we start over again after the 12th fret. Okay, now that's pretty simple, right? Now, if you're looking at majors to sharps, that's how it's done. Whatever the sharp is, there is a corresponding flat to that. Okay, so in this case, a G sharp is actually A flat, okay, because there's the A next one up. One behind, G sharp is A flat. A sharp is actually B flat. So there's B, B flat, okay? Get the idea here? So when we go to the next set of 3 strings down on the neck, okay, for these next set of power chords we're going to do for today, we're going to start here. Now that is a A sharp, which is a B flat, okay? And then we go B, C, C sharp, sharp, G, G sharp, A, etc. Okay? And then they'll have theirs as well, right? So we know B is here, this is B flat. We know this is C, so C sharp, right, is D flat, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So these are pretty simple chords as far as doing them. Now, the reason why we do 3 fingers, it is more comfortable. Now, the majority of guitar players that I know and have seen on stage, they don't do the 2 fingers of the same chords, okay? So, because it's hard to switch between them, okay, when you got 2 fingers involved. But when you have 3, okay, it's a lot faster, a lot easier, and you're still only playing the 2 top strings. But if you want a fuller, richer version of that chord, then you can throw in the 3rd string and give it a whole new voice. All right, so that's the advantage of, you know, still playing a 2-finger chord but with 3 fingers. All right, there's a lot of 1-finger chords too, right, that you can do just on basic chords and whatnot. That's fine, right? But we want to have comfort and speed. We also want to mix stuff up. Okay, now you can do something like this with some blues stuff. It's nice and clean, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's fantastic. But we want a bit more raunch, okay? So we're going to go to, this is called a blues crunch effect. Creative doing that stuff, because let's face it, playing the main blues riffs like and this, that can get boring after a while. But think outside the box, guys. I mean, that's what men usually do, right? So that's when I started going, you know, like mixing stuff up a lot. That's fine for that, but playing distorted power chords is not going to be necessarily the same as clean power chords, right? So this is why, you know, I've got the electric out today, because I can do clean or dirty. It makes more sense, okay? But generally, a lot of the videos you've seen have the acoustic guitar, because we're working on acoustic stuff. But even electrics, there's not a problem using electric. Now I've got an acoustic simulator effect here. And you can get away with an acoustic sim in the right situation with the right dial-in settings to make it sound very much like an acoustic. Right? But then you can also add in. Now you're going to have to learn how to strum pick tighter, right? Idea. All right, so I guess that pretty much concludes today's lesson. So just remember, you start at F, F sharp, G, G sharp. Here it's B flat, B, C, C sharp, D. you just go up the neck. That's all there is to it. We've got a few videos on this where we're using the D position as well for the D chord, but we got to stick with, we can do 4 strings on the D, but anything above that, we have to only do 3 strings, or it's a complete alteration and not relevant to what we're trying to accomplish for the chords we're trying to do. All right, and there's many other chords that we're going to go through where we can do a lot of the same thing, going up the neck and basically getting our majors and sharps, or sharps and whatever, okay? And then of course we got the corresponding flats that also go along with that. Because sometimes we see music with, you know, it's in the key of G flat. Well, what's, you know, G flat, G flat. How do we do that? F sharp is G flat. Because G is here, that's a major. G sharp is A flat, but F sharp is actually G flat, okay? Anyway, that's it for today's lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. Check out my beginner guitar playlist, and you'll find this will be video number 16. And we'll just keep going with these, you know, here and there, and as I come up with more stuff to get you guys going more and more, because this is bringing you past beginner stage, definitely, okay? So beginner life doesn't stay forever, right? And we don't want to stay beginners for life either, so, because that's just boring. Thanks, and see you on the next one. Ciao.